Hello, everyone. Welcome to our De Rose Meditation podcast. My name is Nuno. I'm one of the teachers here at De Rose Meditation online platform. And today we are going to talk still about our 30 days challenge. We have started this challenge 3 weeks ago, and the main intention here is to train your brain to stay focused. And it is a training, it is an active training that we need to do because in today's world, it is so easy to just get along with notifications, with people calling, tapping our shoulder in person and virtually. So it is quite demanding to live today's life. And so we need to have tools that will help us to navigate through these challenges. And so the 30 days challenge is started with one first exercise that was box breathing. Box breathing is one of my favorites because the first thing is to put your attention on the way that you're breathing. So you're going to stop, you're going to observe your breath, and then you will consciously change, manipulate, improve your breathing to make it nasal, silent, abdominal, or complete, and then following a square rhythm. So all the four phases of breathing with the same duration. And one of the great things about this exercise is it just changes the way that you perceive the present moment. Okay, you are not just worrying about the outside, the outputs, the inputs that are happening all the time. And then suddenly you just change your perception to yourself, to what you're doing, which is breathing. So simple as breathing. And when you do that, your brain and your physiology will change. This is what is happening here and now. And that's why box breathing is a great exercise to train your focus. We know that, but at the same time, to build a foundation for your mindfulness training. And that exercise was part also of the second and the third week, meaning the first part of the exercise of the 2 past weeks were box breathing. Then on the second week, what we did was the abstraction of the senses. We used the sound of a metronome to train your attention to do one thing in the middle of all the other things happening at the same time. And that is a great exercise to do. So we used a metronome, and at the same time, the sounds of the city were there. And so you need to focus on the metronome only. And why this is so important? This is what you need to do, for example, when you need to write down an email. You need to open, for example, your Gmail, and you start your email, and then you finish your email without checking your phone, without losing your attention, entering on any social media platform, or just being interrupted by any notification. No, to be present. So this exercise of abstraction of the senses, it is so useful, so powerful that you're actually training your brain to actively focus your attention on just one thing. And the thing is there is the sound of the metronome, including all the others, but you're just focusing on the sound of the metronome. And that's so powerful. Then on the third week, what we did was a concentration exercise. We started with box breathing for a couple of minutes, and then we moved to a concentration exercise, which was to count mentally from 1 to 108 and from 108 back to 1 at the same time. Something like this: 1, 108, 2, 107, 3, 106, and so on until later on 107, 2, 108, 1. That's the goal. And the thing is, you know how to count from 1 to 108, and you're going to do it with no mistakes. If I ask you right now to do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to 108. Perfect. Do it backwards. You can do it as well. But then when you need to do it both at the same time, you start activating other parts of your brain, which are the ones that you train during meditation. So that means you cannot automatize that exercise, at least not for the first months of training, because it's really challenging. If you give it a try, even right now, you stop, you pause this video and give it a try to count on these two ways at the same time. Damn, it's so challenging, so difficult to do it without losing focus. And that way you are training your brain to do something with extreme focus in such a way that you don't communicate with anything else. There are no notifications that will interrupt your attention. There's no fragmentation of your attention. Quite the opposite. You are funneling, you are channeling your attention into just one thing. And by doing that, it is a very strong and powerful workout for your brain. And that's what we challenge you to do on the previous week. And why? Why are we doing this? The first thing is because it works. We have more than 5,000 years training this way. It is the ancient way to train meditation. The approach is this one. It always has been, only recently changed with different interpretations of what meditation is, what mindfulness is, and many other philosophies are. But we stay to the tradition. So meditation is you sit and you do an active, really active exercise. And that's great. That's a powerful training. And so this next week, we'll do as the fourth part of our challenge that will start, of course, with box breathing. You need to do that switch. That's really important. Otherwise, you arrive home and say, okay, I'm going to do this challenge. You sit, cross your legs to do your meditation, and you're going to think, did I lock the doors of my house? And you lost it, okay? But then when you sit to practice and then you do your breath work, boom, you get straight to the present moment. And when you do that, that's great. Then you build a solid foundation to do the next exercise that will be a meditation exercise. And most people will think, oh, but concentration and meditation, the way that you guys teach, they look the same. And the answer is they are the same. So the exercise is the same exercise. But imagine this like a door and a corridor. And so the door is the exercise. Okay, we're going to use, for example, this next week, a geometric shape. Okay, so the exercise is that I'm going to open the door and I'm going to start the exercise. And the first corridor, the first hall, it is the concentration hall. That means you will train your brain to stay concentrated the whole time. But at the end of that hall, you're going to have a second door. And then when you open that door, but the entrance is the same. The first door is the exercise, and you cross all the hall of concentration. Then you open the door for the next corridor, next hall, which is meditation, is when your mind becomes silent. And there's no magic pills, okay? You need to actively train. The hardest part is the beginning, to train the exercise. Then you're going to notice improvements on your concentration skills until you open the next door and you are able to feel what is having your mind silent, completely silent. And the thing is not a passive exercise. I really like to highlight this definition because meditation doesn't work by putting your headphones, listening to the sound of the whales or the sound of the rain and expect to meditate. Okay? It doesn't work with a passive attitude. It only works with an active attitude. I need to focus. I need to narrow my attention. I need to put my thoughts into one thing, and so much that that specific thing will also vanish, and then my mind becomes silent. That's our definition. That's how we train. That's how I meditate. That's how my colleagues here at the Rose Meditation, they train and they also teach. And so this is our approach. This is how we developed and we see the success of our students, improving their skills, their concentration skills, their ability to focus, to be present. Okay. And there is another exercise which had a lot of people can confuse with meditation or with concentration, which is relaxation. Relaxation is here a passive exercise. It is when you lie down. You don't meditate lying down, you meditate seated. You lie down to relax. Because when you lie down, everything in your body will change to a passive mode. So you feel the relaxation, you release the tension of your muscles. You are not sitting on an uncomfortable position, you are extremely comfortable lying down. And so you can explore that good sensation of being relaxed that can also be a nice entering point to then do your meditation training. That means you're going to return from the relaxation, you're going to sit with your legs crossed, and then you're going to do your meditation exercise. Not lying down, you'll be seated. Remember, the first representation ever in history of meditation is one person seated. If it was represented that way 5,000 years ago, that means it is that way that we should meditate, not a lying down figure. It was very easy to see the human figure seated with the legs crossed, back straight. That's how we do our meditation. And why is that so important? Just think that it is almost like the antidote of what social media, what FOMO is, what this rain of notifications are on our cell phones, on our laptops, because we need both. We need to communicate like I'm doing here. I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on YouTube, then this will stay recorded on YouTube. So I'm using these platforms, of course, to share my knowledge, to share my experience. But I also need to have a time to stop and be offline, be on airplane mode, be completely off when I need. I need to be able to navigate through both states, meaning state of complete silence, absolute focus, and a state that I'm reachable, that I'm available, that I'm researching, for example, and that's great. And if you don't have the training to do both, the big tendency it is to sooner or later you'll be just passively being a victim of your algorithm instead of the opposite. So even for me in social media, I choose what I want to watch. If I don't like it, I just don't follow, I ignore. I just want to read, I want to learn things that I'm interested in. So the algorithm understands my needs, what I'm interested in. But also then I go offline. I turn it off. Imagine giving a class. Imagine being here, investing my time, sharing my knowledge here, and at the same time being completely fragmented by notifications and all the other things. I'm not. It's in airplane mode, no notifications. I'm here completely with you. And so that's what we need to train. And meditation is the best training to improve that skill of absolute focus, full concentration, straight to the point, very sharp, very direct to the point, versus passively scrolling or trying to multitask, watching Netflix and scrolling Instagram at the same time. Big mistake. Don't do that. Okay. So how to train to leave that state, which is the most normal thing that happens nowadays? Train meditation, train breath work, these ancient techniques, this ancient way to train that will equip you with strong skills of being absolutely focused. Okay, so my invitation here is stay tuned on Instagram and on YouTube. We'll be sharing tomorrow our fourth and last challenge for this 30-day challenge will be that new exercise. And so I invite you to do that. If you're new here, don't worry. Just here, you're going to scroll back and find the video of the first week. I'll be sharing what box breathing is, how to do it. I'll train with you. And then a second video to do it on the second week. Then the third video for the third week. And tomorrow, the fourth video for the fourth week. So you're invited to accept this challenge or to continue with me with this challenge. And until then, I wish you a great and mindful day, and I'll see you next week. Until then, bye bye and enjoy this challenge.